I don't know if you saw this news, Jim, but recently over at adfreeshows.com, we just announced a brand new match or a new initiative called Ladies Night at the Matches. That's right. It's a brand new piece of content you're going to enjoy at adfreeshows.com, hosted by Ad Free Show's own top gals, Amy Vaughn and Megan Nelson. The ladies, how about that? They're bringing you a women's perspective on the business and celebrating women's contributions to the history and the evolution of the business. And who better to kick off our first all female show than a very special guest, the first lady of wrestling herself, Missy Hyatt. We got a
Wow.
clip. Let's take a listen.
What was it like working with Sunshine, someone that you had seen? You were kind of talking about how
Oh, I was so in awe. I was so in awe of her because she was so awesome. She was one of the nicest people in the world. She got on to me one time because I remember we were doing a cat fight and I was laughing because I was having such a good time and it was fun and I wasn't getting hurt. And she came back and we got the back and I remember her coming over our dressing room, which is, you never did that. The baby faces stay in their dressing room, the heels stay in their dressing room. But she was like, don't you ever laugh again. Da, 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 da. She got on to me. I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, but she was a wonderful person. She was really wonderful. She really taught me a lot and helped me. And really, if it wasn't for Sunshine, there would never be a Missy Hyatt. So.
Check it out, Ladies Night at the Matches. There's more than 100,000 hours of other bonus content, including brand new series you can't get anywhere else. And how about the new one we just announced last week, Memphis Memories with Downtown Bruno, alongside Lex Luger's Lex Express, The Godfather's Poddin' Ain't Easy, Tully Blanchard's Tully Vision, David Crockett's The Book, Monday Mailbag with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, Learning Lucha with Sam Adonis. There's something for everybody. And it's all happening right now at adfreeshows.com. That's long overdue, Jim. A ladies show on
Well, you know how I feel about the ladies. No, I'm not making a joke here. But when, it was a matter of when I went to work for Vince in 93, the ladies consisted essentially of Moolah and Wendy Richter. And people had seen them over and over and over. And we had such a strong male demographic. And most males, I say this tongue in cheek, but most males like women. And we weren't giving them that. We weren't addressing that demo. So that's why we hired who we hired. I remember Vince giving me the directive. I don't care where you got to go, what you got to do. I want athletic 10s. Well, we were always successful with the 10s, but we damn sure prioritized wrestling. And that's why I'll always be eternally thankful for having the opportunity to work with Jackie Moore, Ivory, Lisa Moretti. They were invaluable to the development of the women's division. And, then we struck really well with Lita and Trish Stratus. They got over. They closed the Raw. I remember some of the guys coming to me and said, "What the hell are we doing?" Well, we're going to draw a rating. That's what we're doing. And if you think you should be closing the show, then maybe you should work harder. Give the creative people a reason to want to put you there. So good for you, Conrad. That's good. It's good vision, and there's a lot of really good potential guests out there that I think you'll be able to capitalize on. But I applaud you for it. It's a great thing, and there's a lot of wrestling fans that have become wrestling fans in the last few years because of the ladies.
Well, speaking of the ladies, I know you've always been a big advocate and a proponent of women's wrestling, and maybe there's no better example of that. I don't know that this is something everybody knows about, but by God, good old JR is an executive producer for Queen of the Ring. And that's right, you can come join him at the world premiere. It's happening this weekend, and we're going to have a link in the description for today's show where you can actually go grab tickets this Saturday, October 19th at 5:30 at the Lido Theater. So if you find yourself on the West Coast, I want you to make a trip to the Newport Beach Film Festival. It's happening on October 19th. That's this Saturday
Right.
at 5:30 Pacific, Queen of the Ring. And what's really cool about this for me, Jim, and I had no idea the all-star cast you guys had assembled, Walton Goggins, who is a favorite of mine, and anybody who's seen Justified or Righteous Gemstones or any of the Tarantino movies from recent years, you know Walton Goggins. He's playing Jack Pfeffer. I can't believe that's real. Adam Demos is playing Gorgeous George. Josh Lucas, who you're familiar with, is playing Billy Wolf. We've got Francesca Eastwood playing Mae Young. And how about this for a little wrestling? I love this. Britt Baker's in this. Tony Storm is in this. Trinity Fatu is in this. And there's even characters representing Vince McMahon Sr. And remember the sensei, Martin Cove from Karate Kid? He's in this movie too. And it has its world premiere this weekend at the Newport Beach Film Festival. Tickets are on sale now. They're very affordable. And you get to see the world premiere with good old JR. Tickets will be available in the link in the description. This is big time stuff, man. Congratulations. This is a big deal.
Oh, thank you very much. I have purposely declined the offers to see the whole thing through. I've got a great feel for it. Ash Avildsen and I are real good friends, and he's the head honcho of this deal. He's actually also playing Vince McMahon Sr.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's an amazing story, survival and overcoming the odds. It was a situation where there's one period of Mildred's career that women were not allowed by law to compete. It was very poor. Look at those arms. Millie, biceps. I wish I had biceps like that, Conrad. And she was a toughie, I can tell you that. I learned a lot about Mildred through Mae Young, when Mae Young would come into WWE and do TV or pay-per-view type thing. And Mae, of course, a fellow Oklahoman. She's from Sand Springs. She thought that was the coolest thing that I knew the nickname of her team, the Sand Springs Sandites. And Mae played on the boys' baseball team and wrestled when it wasn't even legal or it wasn't even a sport in high school. So it's an amazing story. And I thought that it would fit today's marketplace. Women are getting a more of a break and they're getting an opportunity. I think that's wonderful. Hey, look, an old fat boy from Oklahoma that ended up having facial paralysis made it. And so that old guy wants to make sure that others get a fair shot. And we're going to make sure that happens to whatever our abilities are to do that. But it's really a cool thing, man. It's a big part of wrestling history because without Mildred and Mildred's accomplishments and her never say die attitude, a lot of the beautiful ladies that are wrestling today, we talked earlier about Mercedes Moné, they'd be sitting on the sideline. So it's pretty cool, and I'm proud of the opportunity, and I can't wait to see it because I haven't seen the whole thing all the way through. I'm pumped. I'm really pumped about that. It's kind of weird that you see your work on the screen and have something to enjoy. Something my kids can go to. Hopefully, my grandkids can check out. But it's a good film. It's going to be a good film because it has a great story, and the story is based in truth. I mean, I remember when even in the 70s, where we would have a big show in Tulsa at the Assembly Center, and the women that were on the card had to dress in a closet, like a maintenance closet. They only had 2 dressing rooms, and some of the women wouldn't give a shit. Like Mae could care less where she dressed, but the other ladies had to suffer through the closets, the janitor closets, and things like that. And they drove the town just like the guys. They got in that car and off they went. So I've always had great respect for them, and I always thought that genre deserved better. And thank God over the years, we've seen that come true. We got women making we got women are making, there's several women in the business right now making 7 figures. And the last I looked, that's $1 million.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because Mildred Burke is actually the first $1 million female athlete in world history. And that's what this movie's all about. It's going down this weekend at the Newport Beach Film Festival. And it's the world premiere, the first time anybody's seen this movie, including Jim Ross, who's the executive producer. And you can go grab tickets to this doggone thing for just $20. What are you waiting for? Be there with JR. He'll be there at the Lido Theater this Saturday, October 19th at 5:30. And we've got the link on how you can join him for tickets in the description for today's show.
They may even have cocktails.
Well, come on.
Come on
A
now.
little wrestling, a little JR, a little fellowshipping, a little cocktail action.
You never know. It should be fun.
I can't wait to see that movie for real. I know they're going to have a wider release in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Me up, man. Walton Goggins is one of my favorite actors. I mean, before we clicked record and we went through the whole cast, I mean, I knew this was being made, but I didn't know it was debuting this weekend. Walton Goggins is the dude, man. It's a real feather in the cap for you guys. Congrats.
Thank you very much. We got a good, the cast is good, and you look at everybody there and their background and their history, their film history. It's pretty impressive. So there's no shortage of talent. And now it's just a matter of them going out and executing, and Ash getting on film what he wants. And I'm sure that he did. Hey, it's the hay's in the barn now, man. Let's roll it. Let's go.
Can't wait to see it.